I still remember the first time we brought Drax home. He was an 8-week-old Cane Corso with big paws and a deep gaze. He stood quietly in the room like a little giant, without wagging tail or barking. At first, there was a growing fear in us. How will we get along with such a big dog? We were worried, but he was just watching us cautiously, learning. From our first encounter, without realizing it, one of the most special bonds of our lives was formed. A few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant, and as my belly grew, I noticed a change in Drax's demeanor. He was there for me like an invisible guardian spirit. On days when I was tired or anxious, he would gently rest his big head on my stomach and look at me as if listening to my heartbeat. Over time, we realized that he was not just a dog, but a quiet, loyal, and loving friend. A guardian accompanying our new life. When our orchid-scented son was born, Drax was a guardian giant, 57 kilos of muscle and a heart full of love. People could be frightened when they saw him, but the calmness in his step, the patience in his gaze, and the way he sensed our baby's presence showed his true size. When he cried, he would lie quietly beside us, alert, watching the surroundings carefully. When my son approached him with his soft hands, Drax never retreated. On the contrary, he responded with love. As the days passed, they began to teach each other quietly how to roll, how to jump, how to grow. When we bought a ball pool for his first birthday, Drax cautiously got into it. The big but gentle giant was always cautious, moving quietly among the balls. The way he stood beside my son as he took his first steps showed a strong and silent bond between these two souls. Over time, Drax's patience and attachment to my son became more and more evident. When my son threw his toys on the floor, Drax would bring them back without getting angry or bored, as if to say, "You can pick them up when you are ready." The quiet evenings in our house were filled with magical moments, with Drax and my son in front of the window, watching the raindrops hit the glass. There were no words, but all the loving feelings were transmitted to each other. The real test came when my son was 2 years old. We were playing joyfully in the park and the garden when a stranger approached us. Drax stopped, stepping forward firmly before barking and standing erect with protective determination in his eyes, and delivered his message, "This is my family." The man stepped back, not out of fear, but out of respect for the quiet strength and loyalty of this faithful giant. In that moment, I realized that Drax was not only a protector, but also a teacher, teaching love quietly and deeply. Today, it is still amazing to watch Drax and my son grow up together. When my son says Drax now, the giant Cane Corso immediately droops his ears, wags his tail, and puts his head in his tiny hands. The two now have their own language. When it's time for bed, Drax curls up quietly outside the nursery door and waits. Then he goes to his own bed, but always one step beside him, always a breath away. Did this story touch your heart? How did you find the bond between Drax and my son? Share with us in the comments.